Good evening, peeps. We are gonna do a 6-pointer tonight. It is 1-pan pork chops and sauteed cabbage. I got home a little bit late from work tonight, so I went ahead and chopped up everything because the video just slows me down. I say it take 15-20 minutes. By the time I do all the stuff so it looks good in the video, man, I got an hour messed in it. I don't feel like having an hour in it tonight. But anyhow, you're gonna need 2 boneless pieces of pork chop, with none of the fat on it, of course. 1 whole red onion, a bunch of chives, which is what comes in like a little package like this. You're gonna need some sherry vinegar. If you don't have sherry vinegar, just use, instead of 1 tablespoon of the sherry vinegar, just use a half a tablespoon of apple vinegar and just add some water to it. A half a pound of cabbage, which if you're getting like a head of purple cabbage, it's gonna be purple cabbage. About this big is about a third of it. So if you cut it in 3s, about that much. A whole red apple, 1/3 cup chicken broth, and the spice of your choice. We're gonna do a southern spice, so we're gonna do salt, pepper, garlic powder, not salt, onion powder, and we're gonna do some cayenne pepper. So all of that's kind of already done. You're gonna need a frying pan. Like I said, it's all gonna be in 1 pan. You're gonna take 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and you're gonna get it hot in the pan. You'll cook the pork chops 4 minutes without flipping them, looking at them, and nothing. Just spice it on both sides, throw it in the hot oil. You want to get it hot on 7, but then kind of move it down to 6. You'll cook it 4 minutes on each side. If it's fairly normal size, I'll show you mine. Mine are this big, so it'll be 4 minutes on each side. But you just spice it up with whatever spices you're using. Like I said, mine's gonna have onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, and cayenne, but you can do whatever you like the best. While I throw this in the pan, I'm gonna set the timer. Okay, so like I said, I already chopped it up. Just chop the cabbage up in bite-sized pieces, coarsely. You'll wedge your onions, cut them, medium. I'm gonna break them all up so they're not in chunks. But your chives, just cut them up in little pieces. As soon as this gets done, we are going to cook it on both sides, and we're going to set it over to the side to rest. You don't drain any of the oil that's left. You don't drain any of the little crunchy pieces out. You kind of leave that in there to cook your cabbage and onions and chives. I'll get back on here in just a few minutes. I know my last 2 videos were really long, so I'm trying to speed this one up. Plus, I'm tired. Okay, come back in a minute. We're going to do the apple topping. You just take a cheese grater, this end right here with your apple. Of course, you don't want the core, chunk that in the trash. Comes out looking like this. You use half of it. The other half you'll just put on raw at the end. You add all of your chives to it. And half of the vinegar, the sherry vinegar, which is a half a teaspoon. You let that marinate. It needs to marinate at least 10 minutes. So, get this marinate from our 10 minutes with the chive. It'll probably be pretty good. I never had it before, but we'll find out. All right, be back in a minute. Okay, cook the pork 4 minutes on each side like I was supposed to. I'm going to put it on a paper towel like they tell me to and let it rest. I'm not removing any of the grease or little chunks that came off of it, which was really not too much of nothing. It says to add my onions and add my cabbage. You're gonna like cook this for like two minutes. Really, you're just like cooking it down so you have enough room. Anything left is gonna go into this pot as soon as this cabbage kind of cooks down a little bit. So we're just gonna cook this down just a tad. And it says to use tinfoil on top of it, but I don't know if you've seen the last video, but I'm out of tinfoil. I still haven't bought any tinfoil, so I'm gonna use the lid, but that's okay. So far as cooking goes, we're in at 8 minutes, because I literally set the timer 4 minutes each, and I could tell that the pork chops were done. If you had thicker pork chops, I'd go 6 minutes. That's what usually you do with chicken or anything else, is 6 minutes each side without touching it if you're using frying pan and olive oil. And this is starting to cook down now, just like it's supposed to. So you're going to put in your 1/3 cup of chicken broth, the half a teaspoon of the cherry vinegar that's left, salt and pepper, and this apple, half the apple went for the topping. The other half goes in here to cook with this. And you have a lot of fluid going on in here. I guess that's to kind of boil up this cabbage and get it done. And anyhow, this is going to cook for 6 minutes. Once it's done, we'll put the the pork chop back in it and cook it an additional 3 minutes. So come back about 6 minutes. Okay, I'm seconds into lifting the lid off of this beast. It does say after it rests for 5 minutes to cut your pork chop into slices. I'm definitely using my timer today because, like I said, I am in a hurry. So this is going to go in here for 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, you put your lid back on. Don't touch it, roll it, twist it, nothing. 3 minutes, we'll plate it. I'll show it to you. We'll taste it. We'll let you know what's going on. Okay, I put that remaining apple with the chives and the vinegar sauce on top for the garnish. It comes out looking like this. I have to say those pork chops came out perfectly. When I was cutting them, slicing them, I mean, they look delicious. So it looks like this. If I ever learn how to do the camera right, it would be fantastic. So we'll give it a shot, see what it tastes like, come back, let you know, and talk to you in a minute. So we ate. I thought it was delicious, but he's the one. What do you think?
A little spicy, could have used more apples, but very good.
Would you have it again?
Yeah.
I have it again too. It really did come out delicious. That sweetness just made it perfect. I did put a little bit too much red pepper in it, but like I always tell you, I like everything a little bit spicy. And the apple, that sweetness, because sometimes, you know, you're on this diet and you don't get to eat sweets. That sweetness was like really good. It was just like yum, almost like a dessert, but only in certain bites. He loves it. You know, like I said, he's diabetic 1. He does have a pump, so he gets to eat kind of everything and anything he wants to, but he does like sweets. It was delicious. Like I told you, I'm from the South. We don't really eat food like this. It's, you know, all of this is a little bit out of our comfort zone. It kind of is a little bit city, you know, just a little bit city. But I wanted to show you this red wine vinegar stuff is Food Line, like $2. For the sherry wine is exactly the same as sherry wine. I'm going to start doing my own recipes soon, like I had told you in a couple videos ago. I'm still kind of like practicing my point system. This one's 6 points. It's well worth 6 points. Oh my gosh, I would do this again a million times. It's delicious. So we have the pork chops. You will cook them 4 minutes on each side in 2 tablespoons of oil. You'll put them on medium high, which is about 7. And I kind of backed it up a little bit, about 6, because my pan's just a little off center on my stove. But chop red onion, I chopped it in half, then cut it up kind of, you know, thin. And then the cabbage I chopped up just roughly 3/4 of a cabbage. Kind of set it to the side. You'll throw it all in a pan in the end. It's a 1-pan recipe. The chives, I just chopped them up how I wanted to, which were about 1/4 inch thick all the way through. And then we had the sherry vinegar. Half of the grated apple went in a bowl with half of a teaspoon of the sherry vinegar and all the chives. And it sat there and it needed to marinate for 10 minutes, and it was so good. That was delicious.